It is my distinct honor to serve as the club president for the Rotary year 2022-2023. As we move into the next year with the challenges our world faces, I'd like to call us to be a club of even more action, impacting our community, nation, and world with the same fierceness and intention Rotary has always exhibited. Thank you for your service to Rotary. This is our home club. To the community and world that we face, let's together imagine Rotary. Are you able to hear me? Is that better? I can hear myself now too. Good afternoon and welcome to our October 22nd Rotary Club of Columbus meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. First thing I'd like to do today is to just express from this club's perspective and many of you all in remembrance of the losses that we've had this past week. On this past Friday, Spence Seeley, that's actually the person that was our breakfast mix coordinator and face, passed away, and I think his funeral announcements and all is on our webpage and has been put out for this coming Friday at St. Thomas at 2 o'clock p.m. And then there's a visitation, I believe, on Thursday from 5 to 7:30. And I think it's been coined, maybe Marquette or some of the others, the voice of God. Our own Colonel retired Roy Plummer, we lost him also. And Roy's services are at this particular point are pending. We'll make sure that we get that information back over to you all as a club and maybe to you all as individuals. But what I'd like for us to do just for a moment, just take a moment of silence and reflection of their lives and what they meant to this club and what they meant to this community and what they meant to you. Just a moment of silence, please. Thank you. We'll forever cherish those beautiful memories. At this point, I'd like to call on Adrian to come and give us invocation according to his faith tradition. Adrian, if you would.
Let us pray. God of our weary years, you've heard all of our silent tears. We stand in thanksgiving, realizing that it has been you that has brought us thus far along the way. God, as we stand in remembrance and reflection, we ask now that you re-engage our hearts and our spirits to appreciate, as the writer of the 90th Psalm declared, Lord, teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts to wisdom. God, we thank you for Rotary that gives us an opportunity to recommit ourselves in service above self, knowing that our days are numbered. But while we are here, we are called to make an impact for your name and your glory. Be with us this day. Bless our food. Bless those who serve us. And give us a mind to serve you by serving others. It's in the name of Jesus we do pray. And we all said, amen. Don't forget about the cans for our Feed the Hungry program as we make an impact in the lives and ministries that serve our community by providing food to those who are food insecure. Thank you.
While we're still standing, let us give a pledge of allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this point, I'd like to call on Michael to introduce and to share with us the guests and visiting Rotarians that we have. Mike.
We got President Cedric and fellow Rotarians. Rotarians bringing guests today include Stan Wright, who's brought with him James Doyle from TS Services. Welcome, James. Kent Ilgis has brought with him Leanne DeCesaris, and I hope I pronounced that right. She's the marketing director for Ken Parker, Duncan, and Davis. Tom Waynick has brought with him Pat Donahoe, who is former CG of Fort Benning. Adrian Chester has brought with him Nathaniel Sanderson, who's with Fit Financial. Betsy Covington has brought with her Pat Frey, who's the Vice President of United Way. Ron King has brought with him Chuck Williams, who everyone knows is from WRBL. And last but not least, Cedric Hill has brought with him Dominic Boland, who is the new Rotary President. And please help me welcome all our visiting Rotarians again.
To our visitors and guests, I just wanted to personally welcome you. Thank you for being with us today. I hope that our day together, lunch together, will be something that will be beneficial to you. And we invite you to come back and join us. At this point, we will call on Ms. Courtney. Ms. Courtney, if you would come and give us our news today.
So here's a look at your headlines. Georgia early voting numbers continue shattering records. With just over 2 weeks until Election Day, early voting is still breaking records in Georgia. As of Monday morning, over 837,000 people have voted across the Peach State. Clorox recalls cleaning products, saying they may contain bacteria. If you're thinking of wiping down your kitchen with a bottle of Pine Sol all-purpose cleaner under your sink, think again. It may contain bacteria that could cause serious illness in people with compromised immune systems. The recall includes Clorox Pro Pine Sol all-purpose cleaners and Clorox Professional Pine Sol Lemon Fresh cleaners. Christmas is coming to Columbus. The Convention Center hosts Christmas Made in the South this weekend, October 28th, 29th, and 30th. Feels super early to me, but that's okay. As Christmas time approaches, what a better way to get ready for the holiday season than to stroll the aisles for treasures at this year's award-winning 30th annual Christmas Made in the South. As of 2 seconds ago, the Dow Jones was up 285 points and the S&P was up 19 points. Today's forecast is sunny with a slight breeze and a high of 72. Enjoy your day.
Thank you so much, Courtney. Each week, we recognize, as a tribute to retired Colonel Ralph Puckett Jr., Soldier of the Week. And at this point, we'd like to call on Anthony, if you would come and introduce our Ralph Puckett Jr. Soldier of the Week.
Here we go. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests. I want to introduce you all today to Sergeant Joshua Alley. Sergeant Alley is from Galax, Virginia, and Sergeant Alley is our Soldier of the Week. Something significant about Sergeant Alley: it takes 3 years to make the rank of sergeant in the Army. He made it in 31 months. And so for that, he has been lifted up out of his Cav squadron at 116th Cav, where he had to keep a bunch of second lieutenants who think they know everything in line. And I asked Sergeant Alley what was the best piece of advice he gave people that think they know everything, and he said, sit back and just observe for about 60 days before you open your mouth and say something. So good advice from this young NCO. Today, he is actually the driver and the operations NCO for the Command Sergeant Major of the Armor School. So that's basically like the operations guy for a vice president of a company. So that's what Sergeant Alley is doing for the Sergeant Major of the Armor School. And Sergeant Alley's been to the Basic Leader Course and also Airborne School. And he has the National Defense Service Medal and the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal. He also has earned the Non-Commissioned Officer's Professional Development Ribbon and the Army Service Ribbon. So would you guys all welcome Sergeant Alley to Rotary today? So Joshua, for you, we've got the Colonel Ralph Puckett Jr. Soldier of the Week certificate that's presented here at Rotary. We've got that for you. I know you're single without any kids, but young strapping NCO like you, I'm sure would, find some friends or a date or something to attend one of these Passport to the Arts, right? So this is a pair of tickets for you to go to the River Center, the Columbus Symphony Orchestra, and we're sitting with the director of that today, Courtney, so you can talk to her about the symphony, the National Infantry Museum, which I'm sure you've been to as an OSIT grad, Columbus State University's Theater Department, or the Springer Opera House. So 2 great tickets for some great shows here in town. And then also what we have for you here is a coin on behalf of the Rotary, and it has a 4-way test, which I think you'll see the Rotary virtues and values there are similar to those that you adhere to as a soldier and as an NCO in the Army. And then finally today we have Colonel Ralph Puckett's books, Words for Warriors, Professional Soldier's Notebook, an excellent read for a young NCO. And this today has been dedicated by, all right, it says that it's dedicated by Colonel Puckett himself. That's pretty cool. There you go. So you've got one dedicated and signed by Colonel Puckett himself. So there you are, my friend. Welcome to Rotary, and if you got any words for us, let us know.
So I'm not good with this public speaking and all this, but I really it means a lot to be here. It is an honor, and I would like to thank you all for what you do in the community, and those who have served, thank you for your service.
Cornell, actually, it's an honor for us to have you here with us in our club today and in our presence. And yes, we hope that you enjoy your lunch, but please take back to your fellow soldiers on Fort Benning our appreciation for what you do and what they do for our country and for our nation and for their families. Let's give him a hand again for being here. Next, I'd like to call on Gene Kemp. Gene Kemp is going to talk to us about Rotary football. He's bearing gifts.
Thank you, President Cedric. A lot going on in football. I know everybody already knows that, but in the national rankings, it looks like in number 1 is Georgia again. That's right where they belong. Number 2, Ohio State. 3rd is Tennessee, followed by Michigan in 4th, Clemson in 5. And I don't know if you got to see that game, but that was quite a barn burner against Syracuse Saturday. And then Alabama is down to 6. So that's a national ranking. Now, more important for us is the Rotary rankings. And this is what we've got now. In 5th place, we've got Davison with 289 points, Mercer with 308, Georgia with 322, Alabama with 345, and then Tennessee with 351. So the total pledges as of today for the Rotary Foundation for this year is $11,458. So give yourself a hand on that. That's good. Well, this week, of course, is always a big game down in Jacksonville, and with Georgia and Florida, and we've got our regular duo here, the House divided. Lamar Johnson is going to be representing Florida, and Gloria is going to be representing the University of Georgia. So y'all decide who's going first, and we got them a microphone, so they're here in the back. So go ahead. Who's going to win, Lamar?
I don't expect we're going to win because they have better players. He bitches about the Kirby Smart, bitches about the game being in Jacksonville because it takes away from his opportunity to influence more 5-stars. And in the last 5 years, I think the lowest ranking he's had nationally with all the colleges and universities in the country is number 4. He was number 1 twice, and I think number 3 twice. But that's neither here nor there. I want to tell you, this is our biggest money raiser for the Rotary Foundation each year. And if you're not playing, why? We may have to reevaluate your membership in Rotary. Want to give all the new members confidence in their status here. Anyway, I don't know what the score will be. I'll be surprised if they don't win by 25 or 30 points. But I'm a realist. Thank you.
He's also opinionated. Actually, the spread on the game is probably 22 or something like that, and we probably won't cover that. But I'm going to take advice from Sergeant Alley, and I'm just going to sit back and not say anything.
Thank both of you so much. We do appreciate your predictions every year. And matter of fact, y'all got the door prizes today, so let me bring these to you.
Okay. Let's give Lamar and Gloria a hand. This point, I'd like to ask Anthony, if you would come up to the microphone. Anthony, Randall? No, I meant Alan Harkness. I'm sorry. Looking at Alan and calling him Anthony. Alan, if you would come to the microphone. Jim, if you would make your way this way. We've got a couple of projects that's actually going on, and we want you to introduce them to you. But I also want to remind you that we have a breakfast mix this coming Friday, 28th, from 8 a.m. until 9, and the presenter will be Deb Kidder. So we invite you to do that. Anthony, Alan, if you will share with us the literacy project.
So tomorrow is Rotary Read for the Jump Start, and we have 10 Rotarians reading tomorrow at preschools all throughout Muskogee County School District. So thanks to those of you that are helping out. You'll see yellow bags in the audience. We really appreciate you helping out, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So keep reading. Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. Jim, if you guys would come forward.
Thank you, President Cedric, fellow Rotarians. I'm here to talk to you about the Habitat for Humanity project. Yet again, Michael's with me. He is a member of our team and also the muscle of this operation. So if you don't sign up, he will hunt you down. No, in all seriousness, we have over 16 people signed up. We just put the walls up on one of the houses on Friday, and I was there, and it was amazing. It was like an Amish barn raising kind of situation. We all got together, and we literally physically lifted these walls up and walked them up and pinned them in place. So you better believe I'm going to drive by that house all the time and tell my kids, like, I built that house. Exactly. And you guys can do the same thing. It doesn't take a lot of effort. It's a half day. Go out on the website, sign up for any day. I know Rotary is on Fridays and Saturdays, but if a Wednesday works better for you, please, by all means, sign up. But it's a great cause. 3 deserving families are going to have affordable housing because of what this club is doing, and we strongly encourage you to participate. Thank you.
Thank you. We've got those projects, and we really encourage you to participate in this. So if you would see those guys and get connected with that. And we also spent this past Saturday over at George Washington Carver's farm and garden. And we would ask that you would give consideration to that. Also, it's a very needy project in the middle of Columbus. It's going to actually fulfill some of the areas that we have as a food desert. And also, it's a place that we can kind of sort of galvanize the community and bring some harmony into the community. So if you'll see Joe Young, I think Joe may be out here somewhere. Joe, where are you? So if you'll see Joe and get connected with that. At this point, I'd like to call on past President Ryan, because it's always a great day when we have a new member join our club. Past President Ryan, if you would come.
President Cedric and fellow Rotarians, it's my honor today to introduce our newest Rotarian, Kim Golden. Kim is a native of Georgia. She was born in Atlanta, but most recently comes to us, excuse me, I gotta put these on, I'm learning how to use these. She spent 10 years in Alabama, and more specifically in Opelika, where she worked in affordable housing. She relocated to Columbus in April of this year, where she's joined NeighborWorks Columbus as their chief operating officer and also their director of real estate development. She's married to her husband, Garrett, and they have together a 4.5-year-old daughter, Clementine. She's a pet person, but she has 6 parakeets. No cats or dogs. They like birds there. Last year, it's important to know about Kim. She's a go-getter. She's involved and wants to be more connected in the community. And in Opelika, before she relocated here, She was recognized as one of the top 20 under 40 by the Chamber of Commerce there, and has already jumped in with both feet here, and she's participating in Leadership Columbus. So she's passionate about affordable housing. We're fortunate to have her in the club, and I will ask you to please help me welcome her with a warm Rotary welcome. And we have a few things for you, Kim. First, you'll get your red name badge. That means you have some assignments to complete before it turns to blue. You'll notice that the first name is highlighted because in Rotary, we call each other by our first names, although some of our attorneys in the club have trouble calling our judge members anything other than Your Honor, but do go by the first name. You have a packet of information here, and most importantly, you have a Rotary pin, which if you'll wear all over the world, you'll find doors of opportunity open. So if you would like to make a couple comments.
Sure. I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me. Again, I am so energized and excited to be here in Columbus and to connect with so many of you. So please, let's not be strangers and let's keep making Columbus better. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Kim, for joining us, and we look forward to working with you going forward throughout the rest of this year. Let's give her a hand again. At this point, I'd like to introduce our head table. Adrian gave us invocation, and David, actually, if you will come and introduce today's program.
Thank you, President Cedric. I have the distinct privilege and honor of announcing the Dan Reed Award, which is always a highlight of our history, of our club's history during this very prestigious award. So I want to give a little bit of background about the Dan Reed Award because we have many new Rotarians who may not be fully familiar with the background. Dan Reed served as our club's president from 1967 and 68 and was also the District 6900 governor in 1977 and 78. He chartered the Marietta Metro Club until he returned to Columbus and began to work as the executive secretary. To honor his memory and to promote the ideal of service above self, the Dan Reed Award was established and is presented annually to a non-Rotarian who demonstrates a history of outstanding personal effort to improve the quality of life of the residents of Columbus, thus personifying the Rotary motto of service above self. The criteria is dedicated personal service and effort toward exemplifying service above self, does so over a sustained period of time. The service is an area of public service, including but not limited to social service, education, religion, medicine, recreation, the arts, or service to Rotary. Results are in a meaningful improvement in quality of life for the significant number of people in the Columbus, Georgia area. The eligibility is for a resident of the metropolitan Columbus area at the time of the selection and is not currently a member of the Rotary Club of Columbus. The process is nominations are solicited and received and then reviewed by an anonymous panel. And our selection was made, and I'm very pleased of our selection. I think you will be as well. And at this time, I'm going to ask that Ryan, if you would please play the video highlighting this year's recipient.
In our world, in our community, that we've never heard about until later in their life. One of them was Gandhi. Another was Mother Teresa. And maybe even Abraham Lincoln, we would throw him in. Leaders who in their heart were called to make a difference for people, for relationships. The Dan Reed Award is going today to a person who has changed this community and changed literally hundreds of lives in this community for good. And her heart is what makes the difference.
It is such a pleasure to help honor an individual whom I believe has made an impact not only in innumerable lives in our community that are important lives. This person has impacted the way organizations in our community work together to a degree that not a lot of people realize, but man, it is a great story for our community, a great underscoring of our belief in collaboration.
This person is so deserving of this award, and the reason they have done so much good for so many people in this community for so long throughout the course of their career, have been so heavily relied upon by really everyone here in the community to make the Chattahoochee Valley the place that it is today.
This person has been active with the community for many years, and I think this individual has made us proud and gained national recognition.
This is one of those people, very, very rare, I think, too rare, who have such wonderful, strong ideals and hopes and dreams, and yet still has feet on the ground and views through reality what needs to be done, how to get to those goals, how to achieve those dreams, that vision in the real world. And that is an amazing, amazing strength.
I first met our recipient of the Dan Reed Award at an encampment like this. We were doing the point in time count nearly 10 years ago. And I was impressed with this woman because she was comfortable with everywhere we went and everyone we saw, and she took the lead frequently in connecting. In fact, as we walked away from one of the camps out in the woods down near the river, she turned to me and said, "I went to high school with that guy. We need to help he and his wife find a place to live." 1 year later, Pat Frey was hired as the director of Home for Good. Ever since she has been hired, the homeless population has decreased in Columbus, Georgia. And how do I know? Because she and I and others have been part of the point in time count every January, no matter what the temperature, no matter what the weather, counting everyone on the street and everyone in the shelters to see where we were as a community. And yes, every year for the last 7 years, that number has gone down. Every military veteran who's been on the street has been housed in Columbus, Georgia.
I've known Pat Frey since probably 2010, and I first really met her on an early January morning when we were both volunteers in a point of time count. It was bitterly cold, and believe it or not, it was snowing. We were partnered up to count the homeless people who were living under the 2nd Avenue Bridge. Well, to say that I was uncomfortable would be an understatement. But here's this little woman. "Okay, let's go." I said, "Well, where are we going?" "Well, we're going right up here, right up under the roadway." So we climbed up a 45-degree concrete bank to where there was a flat surface. There were mattresses, knocked, if you will, on a quilt where people were sleeping with a flashlight in their face, and asked if we could ask them some questions and then give them a $5 food card. What was impressive to me then is what's impressive to me now. Pat treated these folks like they were real people, not scum of the earth kind things. Later in 2015, it was my pleasure to submit her name as the new executive director of Home for Good.
We met at the beginning of the formation of the continuum of care with a new idea to approach serving the community and to see the needs of the homeless as a single system, and to think of people who are without homes first and foremost as people. We're not counting beds in a shelter to report to the government. We're telling the government who these people are by name. We know them. They are part of our community. And that passion for humanity drove a real cultural change here in Columbus, one that has benefited so many people, not just those we serve who need homes and who need support in order to stay in homes, but the people who provide the services, the providers, the organizations, the agencies have relationships with each other that are so strong now and so productive. And Pat gets credit for that. She is part of that. She will tell you it's not all her doing, but She is a big part of that, and she inspires me. We have become very good friends, personal friends. What a surprise, what a blessing.
Home for Good is really a unique public-private partnership here in this area, working with the city on a daily basis, businesses here in town, other nonprofits, and leading the continuum of care to make sure that everyone in this area that wants permanent housing has it. They occupy a really unique space in our community, and Pat is such a dynamic leader of that organization.
I've been involved with Home for Good since its early days because we at the Community Foundation believe that by working together, better things get done and they get done faster. Finding Pat to help head this effort was a masterstroke for our group, and it has been a delight to watch where she's taken this. Many of you don't understand the level of national recognition that our community is getting because of her work, because it really exemplifies honoring each other as citizens and solving a problem by having organizations not just work together to take care of those experiencing homelessness, but actually housing them and solving the problem itself. And I'm so proud of this community. I'm so proud of the work that Pat's doing, and I'm so proud of Home for Good.
She helped the Housing Authority get a moving to work designation that opened up hundreds of housing vouchers. She helped with the establishment of 211. She helped when we came into a close relationship with the United Way. She established a continuum of care, which is an organization that's required to receive millions of dollars in HUD funds in Columbus and Phoenix City.
Well, Pat has always been an active person in the community. Many years ago, she worked with the Housing Authority as a housing manager. A lot of people don't know that, so she's worked with poor people for many years. The nice thing about Pat is that she's not afraid to get in the weeds and to work hard. And she's developed relationships with the clientele she serves, and that is really critical in being effective with working with the homeless.
I've never met anyone like Pat in my entire life. Someone who is so comfortable in such a range of settings, engaging with someone on the Riverwalk who is struggling, who is in need of housing, who has a lot of challenges in their life, and then also presenting to a group of executives in the boardroom. Pat does those things sometimes within the same day in her role at Home for Good, United Way.
Pat, I want to say congratulations. You're a perfect choice for this award. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited that Home for Good gets to be lifted up because of your great work. And I just want to thank you for the way that you treat everybody in our community just the same. It is such a reminder that this is how we need to approach the world. This is when good things happen. Thanks.
Pat, congratulations. You deserve this so much. Thank you for treating our homelessness people as real people and putting service above yourself.
Pat, I want to congratulate you on this award. I can't think of many more people that would be more deserving of this award. You've worked tirelessly for the community. We've gotten terrific results on reducing the homelessness in Columbus. So thank you very much for your service.
Congratulations, Pat, for winning the Dan Reed Award. I can't think of anybody more deserving of this high honor, and I'm so proud of you.
We are so blessed here in Columbus to have Pat Frey as the leader, the executive director of Home for Good, pushing, pulling, encouraging, blessing all of us as we work to improve our community. Well done, well deserved, and I'm so glad that this is being recognized. Muscle tough, Pat.
There is a term we use in Columbus, Georgia for people like Pat Frey. Most of us know it because of a man named Bill Turner. But Bill borrowed it from other people, as he would quickly say. But we're fortunate to be known as the servant leadership city. And Pat Frey is a servant leader. Congratulations, Pat. We're excited for you, we celebrate with you, and we're honored that you're here serving our city, our community, our homeless as you do every day and every night. Thank you.
Is it on?
I've got a big mouth, it doesn't matter. Terry, Denise, it's all because of you guys. Thank you all. Got some good plotters around here because I thought I was coming here to honor you, Beth. Rick, thank you. Thank you, Ben, for your support. It's been a long road with Home for Good, but I take this to honor all of those who have put in the hours and the hours and the time and the miles, and the outreach team that's on the Riverwalk, because I've asked them to be there at 6:30 in the morning or at 7 o'clock at night or everything in between. And again, just the support of this community has made all of this possible. And for those of you who were fortunate enough to go on the Asheville trip, if you'll notice that the conversations that they were having about how they needed to come together and work together, well, we do that in Columbus because of groups like this. So thank you so much. I'm honored. I'm shocked. And I'm going to go sit down now.
The real award is hung up in our continuing supply chain issues, and we'll be here any day now. So we'll get that to Pat when it comes in. Thanks, everyone.
Pat, on behalf of the club, we just want to personally thank you for just your heart for the community and what you do on a daily basis to keep our community solid. Say it that way. Let's give her a hand again, if you would. We want to recognize Larry. Is she Larry? Okay, we have a microphone. Tell us about your week, if you would.
Yes, Saturday morning I helped for the farm garden, and it was a lot of fun to feel useful. And I went to my first pumpkin patch. Yes, and it was really fun too.
Larry, for those that don't know, is our GRSP student. She's here from France, and she's quite active in the community and, of course, active in the club, and we just like to hear from her each week as we come forward. Thank you, Larry, for your heart. We also would like to thank our military guests. Again, thank you so much, sir, for being with us, and remind your soldiers again at Fort Benning how much we appreciate you all what you all do for us. Today's program will be both on our Facebook page and on YouTube. Next week's program will be Debbie Caballero with Right From the Start. And at this point, I'd like to call Adrian back up, because each week what I'd like for us to do as Rotarians is be reminded who it is that we are. So if you'll stand with me as Adrian comes.
My faith tradition, when a worship experience is ended, we pronounce a benediction and a blessing to remind ourselves of the covenants in which God holds us to and will guide us through. So, and likewise, today with Rotary, we pronounce a benediction, a reminder of why we do what we do. The four-way test of things we think, say, or do. First,
is it the truth?
Second,
is it fair to all concerned?
Third,
will it build better?
Fourth,
will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you.
Thank you, Adrian. If there's no further business, we stand adjourned.